Live from Town Square Towers at the heart of the Jersey Shore. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Get up, get out, do something. Join the conversation. 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. 7:06 Monday, October 24th, 56 degrees, getting up to 63 today. WOBM AM 1160 and 1310 News Talk Radio, streaming live on the Radio Pup app at WOBMAM.com. 732-505-1160 to join our conversation. We are joined in the studio by Jim DeAngelis. Jim is in charge of community relations for the Lakewood Blue Claws, which is a pretty cool job, right? It's a pretty cool job.
That's a great job, Jeremy. It's the only one in the county.
That's right. But you get to be out there. You get to talk baseball. You get to spread the Blue Claws love. You get to go to a lot of baseball games, right? I mean, it's not a bad deal. Tell us a little bit. Just give me the quick overview of what your job's all about.
Yeah, who's got it any better than me, right, Jeremy?
Absolutely.
Well, good morning. Thanks for having me on today.
Absolutely.
How do I look? I'm not used to getting dressed in the dark.
You look.
Do I match?
You look nice. They're
Okay.
good, but you're very fortunate that it's radio. But you still look okay. So
Thank you. I have a face for radio.
So do I.
Okay. Well, what does my job entail? Well, I'm into my 17th year already with the Lakewood Blue Claws. And I guess if you looked at my job description, it's to be involved in the community, spread the good cheer of the Lakewood Blue Claws, help out where we can with events and charities, nonprofits, and try to make a difference whenever we can. Make the Blue Claws name shine, if you will.
Right. So as the vice president of community relations, it's kind of like your job to get out there and to keep people talking about the Blue Claws, to show what a good community partner, and of course, maybe you drum up a little bit of business for people that want to come out to the games or come out and spend some time with Buster and the gang, right?
Well, exactly. There's always room for that, but I couldn't do it without my staff. I have 30 other people that work for the Blue Claws full time, and luckily I'm able to assign each person to a various nonprofit in the community or a chamber of commerce or something else, because without it, I'd be as busy as you, Jeremy.
I think you're busier than me. So let's see. So how many boards, or you probably don't count them, but what's your current board tally, do you think?
I think I'm up in double digits.
Are you?
Somewhere between 10 and 12.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's not bad. That's
not too
pretty
bad.
strong, right?
I'd say so, yeah.
And so, but most importantly, because sitting on a board, there's responsibility, right? But it's but sometimes it's like you meet once a quarter, once every whatever. But you kind of take a leadership role in a number of them. So, for example, you take a leadership role in the Salvation Army, right?
That is correct. Presently, I am board chairman of the Salvation Army, Ocean County Citadel. I replaced a legendary figure in the community, somebody that, well, actually, the only person that I know that can call him Dad is you.
That's right.
Your dad was the one that allowed me to take over for him with the Salvation Army board about 6 years ago. And we're just pushing the agenda forward with just a great nonprofit that we have serving here in Ocean County.
Now, there's no board chair term limits there at the Salvation Army. You just keep going in perpetuity. Is that the way they work?
Well, they said I couldn't serve as long as your dad, and I think he served like 28 years as board chair,
Yeah.
So I still got a couple more to go.
So you're like, no, I physically can't serve as long as my dad. That's what it comes down to.
Exactly.
But really, I mean, most boards, don't you do like a 2-year gig and then you move on to the next? Or
Well, I think the bylaws do say 2 years, but unless someone challenges you or
Right.
wants to step into that role, I do have a great executive board, Larry Caliastro, Terry Kubel, Don Foster, they're part of the executive board. I have Jerry Ambrosio, who's our gala chairman every year. She does a marvelous job. And it's not a huge board, but I have to tell you, the 18 people that serve on our board are just very dedicated. They're very involved in the community, and without them, we couldn't push forward the mission of the Salvation Army.
But you're not feeling like there's going to be a coup anytime soon, right? Like you've been reading the tea leaves, and you're not seeing that it's happening, right?
No, I don't think your dad's going to challenge me anytime soon.
No. I think he's good. So okay. Well, listen. So you mentioned the gala coming up. So why don't you tell me about that? We have a gala coming up for the Salvation Army.
Well, as a matter of fact, we do, Jeremy. It's the Salvation Army's 20th annual awards dinner, and we're holding it on Thursday, November 17th at the Clarion Hotel and Conference Center. And each year that we do this dinner, obviously for the last 19 years, there are people and organizations in the community that we want to honor and recognize for their devotion and dedication to the Salvation Army. And this year, we're very pleased to be honoring Dr. Terry Kubel, who happens to be our board secretary. Terry's wonderful. She's a great secretary. She's very helpful to me. I really couldn't do a lot of the things that I do with the Salvation Army if not for Terry, and she's getting the Community Service Award as an individual. I'm sure you know Terry quite well. She works at the Community Medical Center, been very involved in the Salvation Army, as were her parents before her. And then we have a couple of organizations that we're also honoring. Michael's Furniture, Michael Garino, we're honoring him because of all his fine work that he did during the Superstorm Sandy by getting people back into their homes with furniture. And then, of course, our good friend over at Narcissus Florals, Ken Malagiri, we're honoring Narcissus Florals for their dedication to the Salvation Army as well. Ken's always there for flowers or anything else that the Army needs. He's just a wonderful guy, as you know.
Oh, I've heard. I've heard. So I may run into Kenny every now and then. And he always says, "Pardon me," and I say, "Only if I get into office." That's yeah. Anyway, so when is this event? This event's November
17th. It's a Thursday evening.
Right.
It'll begin at 6:00 over at the Clarion on Route 37
Are
West.
tickets still available, Jim?
Tickets are still available. We get anywhere between 150 and 175 people each year. So there are tickets available. The dinner is $100, and this is our largest fundraiser of the year. And if you're interested, please call 732-270-8393.
Cool.
And right now I'm on my fourth set of Corps officers. Majors John and Rhonda Ferreira have come into our community back in June. They're our fourth set of officers that I've been serving under. They're wonderful people. They're getting their feet wet. They used to be in charge of the Red Bank Corps up in Monmouth County, so they're very familiar with our area, fine people, as all the Salvation Army officers are. And we're hoping to do great things and raise a lot of money for a wonderful organization like the Salvation Army.
So let's piggyback on that for a second, because when I think Salvation Army, right, there's really only one thing I think of, right? And I think a lot of people kind of have the same thought, right? We all think of the kettlers, right, at the mall, right, who are standing in front and collecting a couple of shekels, right, for the Salvation Army. But the Salvation Army is more than just like banging a kettle, right, and collecting a couple dollars. So can you give folks kind of what's the 30,000-foot overview of the Salvation Army and why this is such a great cause?
Well, you were correct, Jeremy. Most people, when they think of the Salvation Army, they think about between Thanksgiving and Christmas when they see the red kettles out in the community, people ringing the bell, trying to raise nickels and dimes for this great organization. Matter of fact, the entire board of the Salvation Army takes a day in December, and we go over to the mall and we ring the bells as well. We're always looking for volunteers to stand kettles throughout the community because there's many locations. And if you're interested in assisting, by all means, call the Salvation Army again, ask for Major John or Major Rhonda Ferreira, and we'd be happy to let you man a kettle for a couple of hours. In addition to, obviously, the exposure that we get in the community, there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes with the Salvation Army, such as our Hearty Helpings program every Thursday evening over at the Corps. They provide a tremendous meal for those people in our community who maybe need some fellowship, a warm meal, some friendship, just to maybe brighten their lives a little. It's a great evening. We also have a summer camp that the kids go to each year, and that runs from the end of June until the middle of August. And we have 75 to 80 children that participate in that every summer. It's a great camp. There's always a waiting list for people to participate in that. And a lot of the money that we raise at our annual dinner on November 17th go right to the summer camp program that begins in June.
Very cool. So when we come back, well, I want to move on to some of the other organizations that you work with. I know you do a lot. We just had Kim Gittinas on talking American Cancer Society, so I know you do a lot with the American Cancer Society. I know you also have done a lot with the Girl Scouts, right? Because we know you are man enough to be a Girl Scout.
I am man enough to be a Girl Scout.
I'd like to talk about that a little bit when we get back. Is that all right?
That is fine, Jeremy.
Jim DeAngelis, VP of Community Relations for the Lakewood Blue Claws and Man About Town. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. Back after this.
Get more Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin at our website, WOBMAM.com. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310.
Hey, welcome back. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. You know, Jim, you are so cool. I was concerned because, you got this gum thing going on, right? And I'm like, that never works well on the radio. But even you have pulled that off with complete finesse. I couldn't even tell that you were chewing gum. It's amazing. How do you do it?
Just practice, Jeremy. It's when you do a lot of interviews and you talk, you have to kind of keep the mouth wet and the throat dry so that the words come out the right way. And it's,
you really have a methodology there.
Well, I'm not really a gum cracker.
No, but you're very so you come off as kind of like laid back and cool and collect, but it's very calculated, isn't it? It's all very calculated.
Very, but please don't let that secret out.
No, I don't. Listen, it's just you, me, and the 3 listeners who are listening right now, so we're good. Jim, why don't you tell us a little? I know you're man enough to be a Girl Scout. How do you decide? I know that you get involved in some boards you take for yourself, some boards you kind of distribute to others. First of all, how do you decide which boards? This is probably a loaded question for you, right? There are certain organizations that are near and dear to your heart. So let's just take the Girl Scouts. What makes the Girl Scouts something that's so important to you?
Well, the Girl Scouts are a great organization. I've been on their board, I think, since 2009 when I was approached to step on board. Girl Scouts are very involved with the Lakewood Blue Claws. It's part of our target market, if you will, families. And what I like about the Girl Scouts is it gives the opportunity for young women to build courage, confidence, and character. As I often say, I don't really have a dog in the fight because I never had a sister, never had a daughter, but I just think the organization through and through does wonderful things for young women across Monmouth and Ocean County. So I dedicate a lot of my time to that organization. It's just, I'll do a little research before I actually get on the board. And humbly I say this, there isn't a month that goes by that one of the nonprofit partners that we have with the Blue Claws asks me to come on board to be a board member. But my time being what it is, and then of course I think a lot of people forget that between April 1st and Labor Day, I'm pretty involved in the everyday operations of the baseball team with the Philadelphia Phillies. So I do have to pick and choose my moments. My plate's pretty full right now, but each and every month someone will approach me and say, hey, what can the Blue Claws do to help our nonprofit? We do have a great community partners program. We have 40 nonprofits that we partner with every year and kind of help them push forward their missions. We have on our website, we'll put their community events, community calendars, things such as that. And each one of our 40 community partners, if I'm not able to serve on a board or a committee for them, like I said, I have my staff of 30 other people who I assign to assist in those roles.
Right. Well, and the Blue Claws are so generous with the community and so generous with their offerings. And, the beauty of minor league baseball, for those of you that haven't gone, is that you go to a major league game and you need to take out a second mortgage, right?
Correct.
Because it's super expensive.
Mm-hmm.
If you have small children, right, you're not getting your money's worth because they're not sitting in their seats. They're not going to last that long. By the way, if a lot of kids won't last that long because baseball is, let's be fair, baseball is a little bit tougher because of the pace, right? But the beauty of the Blue Claws is between every inning, right, all around the ballpark, there's activities, there's things to do, there's good food. It really is an entertainment experience, which I think is fantastic, and that's what makes it such a great alternative or a great option for a nice summer night.
Absolutely, Jeremy. You and Laura are ticket holders, as the community knows, and you bring your children. And I remember the first time your dad picked up the phone and gave me a call and said, Jim, my son and daughter-in-law and their families coming to the community. I'd like you to bring them over to the ballpark, show them around a little. And as I recall, I let Josh throw out the first pitch that night. And your dad gave me a call the following day to thank me and say, boy, he hasn't stopped talking about that. This is something he'll probably talk about for a long time.
No, it was cool. Kids love running the bases, too. When we come back, Jim, we're going to give you your magic wand so that you can make an impact on the community, even a bigger impact than you do right now. And then I'd like to talk about when you decide you're going to wear shorts versus when you decide you're going to wear pants. Jim DeAngelis, Community Relations, Lakewood Blue Claws, back after this.
Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Live from the Jersey Shore to the world. Get up, get out, do something. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Take the show wherever you go. Download the free Radio Pup app for your smartphone or tablet. Join the conversation. 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. 7:34, Monday, October 24th, 56 degrees, getting up to 63 today. WOBM AM 1160 and 1310 News Talk Radio. Streaming live on the Radio Pup app and WOBMAM.com. 732-505-1160. Join the conversation. We are joined in studio by the VP of Community Relations for the Lakewood Blue Claws, Jim DeAngelis. And Jim, we were talking. I'm very excited because as the chair of the United Way of Monmouth and Ocean County, we are excited. Every year we have an honoree for our big gala, which is November 18th, right? And this year we decided that we were going to change it up a little bit, and we really wanted to honor the man with the best legs at the Jersey Shore, and you were the clear choice. So you must be excited to be honored by the United Way.
Jeremy, I am. I'm very humbled. I have a feeling that you were behind this, but I'll leave that for another day. But the United Way is a great organization, worldwide recognition. Been a partner of the Blue Claws for many years. You can always go back to when we first came into the community back in 2000 and 2001. We partnered with, at the time, she was Kathy Sauer, now Kathy Durante. And one year we actually hosted their Festival of Trees at the ballpark. And it was going to be a successful, wonderful event until the blizzard hit for 4 days and kind of prevented people from coming to the ballpark. But United Way is a great organization. I'm extremely humbled to be honored again this year on November 18th. And I believe it's at Crystal Point.
Yes, at Crystal Point, and it's always a good event. And look, the key... the key to any successful event, let's be honest, is the honoree, right? Because if you get an honoree that's a strong honoree, you're guaranteed that there'll be a big following that will come out to support. And then if you don't get a good honoree, you're like, we'll see if we can piece something together. You're wondering, I could see in your eyes, you're wondering which way I'm going now after this. But I'm going to say, I feel really good. The choice was run by me, but that was done by a committee of your peers who said we need to get Jim DeAngelis because he's been such a beacon of light for the community.
Well, thank you. I do notice you have two other honorees, and I think more people will probably come to support the other two honorees, Carol and Tim, than they would me. But always willing to help out where I can. It's going to be a busy month. I'm chairing the dance event, Dancing with Our Stars for the Girl Scouts on the 3rd. I'll be chairing the event for the Salvation Army 20th annual event dinner on the 17th of November, and then the following night I'm going to hang out and party with you on the 18th at Crystal Point for the United Way.
Wow!
How cool is that?
Wow! You really are burning the candle at both ends, huh?
I am.
How do you do it?
Well, I don't know how I do it, Jeremy. It's the off season, so people think I have nothing to do in the off season. So let's fill up his calendar with a bunch of community events
and you're able to do all of it while chewing gum. So it's like you really are a multitasker.
Yeah, I should have worn my shorts this morning. I didn't know you.
You should have, but it's okay. I joke. We've said that a couple times. My wife and I have often commented on the quality of your legs, and I, as someone who has chicken legs. And has often been referred to as Mr. Potato Headish. It's with great envy that I look at you in a nice pair of shorts during baseball season. But This just got weird. So, Jim, it's that time where we give you your magic wand, your pixie dust, your fairy dust, your ability to make an impact on the world just by wiggling your nose. What is it you're going to do to make an impact?
Well, Jeremy, I've often said that, like I said, we partner with the Blue Cross partner with 40 community partners, all wonderful nonprofits in Monmouth and Ocean County. If I had a magic wand to just wave it, I would be able to create more time for myself to help more organizations within Monmouth and Ocean County. I just think it's a lot of fun. I had no idea when I came to the Blue Cross back in September of 2000 as to what my role would be. But luckily at the time, I have an ownership group that's been very supportive of each and everything that I do. They've stood by me. They've never questioned the inroads that I've made here in Monmouth and Ocean County. And I feel that partnering with so many great organizations and chambers and going to events has really assisted the Blue Claws in showing the community that we are community friendly. We're just not an organization that plays baseball 7 months a year, but we prefer to stay involved. We get Buster out in the community. He was busy this morning, so he couldn't be here with us. But things like that are what drive organizations forward. Humbly, I say it's been a wonderful 16 years so far for me as I head into my 17th season. I don't know what's going to happen, but that magic wand that you so graciously have given and afforded me will hopefully create a little bit more time and give me the ability to help a lot of other nonprofits here locally.
That would be great. That would be great. Jim, how many days till opening day?
We have 171 days, Jeremy.
That's great. And where would folks learn more about the Lakewood Blue Claws, or kind of see what kind of promotions they have going on, or where would you direct them?
Well, you could go to the website or a phone number, but the thing that tickles me is when I'm at as recently as August, I had people come up and say, we've lived here locally in Ocean County and we've never been to the Blue Claws, and this is our first game. And gee, what a fun event you guys throw here. Jamie Stone, our marketing director, she does a great job of creating theme nights and things to do. So if you are interested, our season does start on April 13th this year, 171 days away, and you can go to www.blueclaws.com. Very simple.
Right.
And surf around there. There's a schedule posted. We've already started some of our theme nights and some of the things that we're going to be doing this season. And our phone number 732-901-7000, and it's been that way for 17 seasons.
Very cool. And lastly, one more time, Salvation Army event. How could folks get more information?
Well, this is an event that's obviously near and dear to my heart. As board chairman, we're hosting our 20th annual awards dinner. I mentioned our award winners earlier in the broadcast. Dr. Terry Kubel, who happens to be the secretary of the board, someone who's been very supportive of me and my initiatives on the board. We're also honoring Michael's Furniture, Michael Garino, who helped out so many families during Superstorm Sandy, providing furniture for families. And then, of course, Narcissus Florals right here in Toms River, who everyone seems to be honoring because he's just a wonderful guy.
Sure.
You can purchase tickets by calling 732-270-8393. Ask for Major John or Major Rhonda Ferreira. They're our Corps officers, and we'd love to have you there on November 17th at 6 p.m. at the Clarion Hotel out on Route 37.
Very nice. Jim DeAngelis, VP of Community Relations for the Lakewood Blue Claws. And Jim, really one of the first people that I met when I came to town 3.5 years ago. We were talking about that before, and you were a really great kind of mentor for me to help get me out into the community. And, I just every day I hope that I can live up to the example that you've set of how to interact with the organizations that you interact with, because you do such a great job.
Thanks, Jeremy. You certainly made some inroads yourself since you came here. And I am renting a tuxedo that night, and it's the tuxedo with shorts. I didn't know they made them.
So man, we can't wait.
You and Laura's
going to be
happy.
so excited. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin, back with more right after this.